Listen to me. Some people don't want help. They don't even want to hire assistants. Some people want slaves. Some people want fetch it. Just go fetch. Do what you're told. Stay in line. Just listen to me. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying to you. Let me just break it down a bit more simpler. If you have skills that can make a difference in someone's life, even if you can make someone a millionaire, make people a lot of money, some people just don't want you to do that for them. If you've ever noticed that some people, just some, not everybody, but some people, they don't want a fix. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to heal. They don't want to be better. They are perfectly where they are. They just want a whole Netflix series about their problems, episode after episode. We're living in 2026, and we have our brand names, but some people got some new names coming for them. Okay, some specific type of people. And I can name a few. So listen, get your list ready. We call them the narrative beggar. All right. Back in the day, we used to call them trauma dumpers and cry babies and energy vampires, clout chasers. Okay. Yes. It's some people that do walk around with an empty cup. And even if you fill it, they'll dump it out and starve, absolutely starving for attention. They will use gossip, guilt, and that damn poor me. That poor me. I just please. To feel important. Or to get attention from people that are important. Important to them, important to someone else. They might even not think you're important. The moment we use our actual brain and set up boundaries, like trying to keep the house safe from germs, protecting the peace. It's just certain reasonable principles. I like to scratch my own back. Some people who can't scratch their own back, I guess they just lose their mind. They just gonna lose their mind when you set those boundaries. They can't read you. They can't control you. So what do they do? What do they do? Do they go around begging anyone who will listen to their fake story? Maybe. They have these stories, they're so believable. So, don't help them. They'll think that you're trying to take over their life. Or if you don't help them and what they want you to do, you're being mean. Some of their rules are just ridiculous. And actually, they don't have any bearing on being respectful to a person's own individual shit, their own success, their own expertise. Who are you truly? Because some people, they don't even care to know. They attempt to turn someone into a bad guy just to make themselves the star of the show. And it can be exhausting, darling. It can be exhausting. But here's the good news, right? Here's some good superpower. It's called emotional neutrality. You got to be neutral emotionally. And when you know exactly who you are or who you're becoming, you can spot those begging vampires, those clout chasers, because they will march right up to you, shaking their little cup of drama or horror, waiting, ready for you to get pissed off, to get scared, to get angry, to get sucked in, just waiting for you to submit to whatever type of manipulation that they love to do, that they're good at. And what do you give them? What are you supposed to give them? What are you supposed to give them, huh? Your fears? No, nothing. Not even shouting or over-explaining. You just look at them for what they're giving you, and you just have to have a completely blank, unbothered energy. You got to think. I am not buying your ticket to your circus today. You don't nearly even have to tell them that. Just think that. That's all that counts, darling. Just darling, I ain't buying it. The silence is a mirror, and when you refuse to play the villain in their fake movie and their episodes of drama and trauma, you get to understand their whole script falls apart. And that is how you turn their negative gossip into a massive win for yourself. And you shut down the drama by simply refusing to feed them your essence of all that other stuff that don't even reflect who you are. You got to ask yourself. It's like a couple of questions. You got to ask yourself some things. Even now and today, are you actually solving a problem, giving yourself, to certain type of energies? You got to ask yourself, are you just funding someone else's daily drama? And soon as when you think you resolving something, they'll go right back to the same old drama budget that they be on, and are you holding on to your boundaries, like a leader, like a person who is healthy? Or are you still letting people pleasing people that get tied into certain programs, especially from their jobs? They will come home and suck all the good energy dry. Okay, they'll be at work in chaos, or maybe, doing a great job, but they bring it into the house and they can't come across the threshold like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just some people who really don't know how to shut it down. So this is why it's so important for you to be a leader to yourself. It's some people, they want to be bosses and tell everybody what to do, and they can't even understand, certain things. But here it is. Look out for the people-pleasing type of people that's really good at doing a lot of things. Sometimes they can be some serious manipulators. And if you are that person, if you are one of those people that do so many wonderful things, and you have to sometimes, and you can't admit that you're wrong sometimes, you have to ask yourself, when are you going to be ready to drop the fake gossip and the fake narratives and get some real meaningful friends? And what does that mean? Earn your friends. You got to earn your friends. You got to learn your friends. Stop begging for a story narrative. Stop being that. Put the cup down. Stand in your light. Stand and get out of your own way and let that noise that you create just fade away. Just like that. Voila. That's clarity for you, boo.